If we are the gods enough, we must do what those before us, those that now cheer for us, had done. They came and took the obstacle course on this similar hell plane as earth. Here they learned to go and create their heaven, to be of themselves a universe with the wisdom and principles defined in as above, so below. So we continue to raise these topics to clarity, reaching those that have reached out in the spirit, offering the little things that put the bigger ones into context. Hello again, my people. Skywalker here with another pop-up video to offer a key to clarity in our upcoming topics. If you find something here, please like the video, even share if you will. And to stay connected, hit the notification bell and subscribe. This has been a very hard journey from day one doing this challenge. For who will be bold to raise the topics that beg to differ to the degree that we do? Let me speak to you about the four cosmic elements of perpetual motion assimilated by the four winds of the earth. Many times, when we raise topics about the masonry of soul edifices that give life to dead bodies, like this earth, for example, we tend to declare that it is earth, water, fire, and air. We will talk about two forces, two balances, and two governing orders today, one of the universe and the other of this earth plane. We are here in the valley of the dead, breathing life, initiating to godhood. We stand on the dead carcass of this earth world plane and raise our hearts to the living cosmic, and we see hope. We know we now have hope. I introduce to you another perspective at this time, just to offer these important keys to clarity, which we will need going forward. So we will come to full understanding of what comes next. We have spoken briefly about paradigm creation, which, just as the computer is a synthetic way of replicating the body and workings of the human frame, it is also the replication of how the cosmic and its four pinnacles work. Therefore, let us speak about that consistent square briefly. Without that balancing square upon physical planes, nothing of the physical order would manifest or even be ordered. If you had sickness, for example, you would not conceive the medicine without there being the square. And this is where we go to control reality. To the square, I mean. By being architects and masons, idealizing, creating, building, and manifesting, but every edifice we create must subscribe to certain principles. Therefore, all they that know the formulas know all. There is no science, no schooling, or no entity greater than that of conquering that wisdom of the square upon a physical plane, especially on a dead earth where living beings collide. At some point, when we realize how to stop drawing energies from the dead and to seek the living, elevating us from earth to heaven, the caterpillar will change to the butterfly. This is no understatement. There is no sage or messiah that you worship, including Jesus or the Greek god Zeus from Ethiopia, who never taught you in these exact words. They all taught you the same thing. But unfortunately, to see truth in corrupted records, you must read between the lines. Therefore, sometimes just stop reading and start looking within for a while. Here upon the physical realm, if you want to find the spiritual, look into the physical that was manifested or that it manifested. Mind and reason is in man, and he is affected by it. Spirit lives in body, and body lives in spirit. If you want to find the physical, look inside the spirit that conceives it. In all these wide open spaces of nothingness, we see all these solid structures of bodies that manifested by spiritual reckoning and authorized as real by mind. As it was spoken, it manifested. So those that challenge to win the carcass of earth first came with their own paradigm to breathe life into it, just as the parasites had their lives in it, even to the fishes and the worms and the flowers. But everything in hell was parasitic, so they had to create the paradigm by the four winds, not earth, for the earth was already here, not fire, for the fire was here, not air, for they were breathing it, and not water, for it was covered in water. In fact, we live in water even now, but because it has so much less density, we believe that the fishes live in water, but we don't. So, the cosmic square was always intact. All we needed to do was study the seasons and understand what will was woven in what time, what happens in spring and how we plan to survive it, what of autumn, summer, and winter, and how we expect to survive each one as a unit in their time. There are seasons on every realm and in the cosmic that we must ever adhere with. In these topics, I usually go to the full year of a cycle, which consists of over 4 million years. So whenever I speak, that is in my mind 4 million years of a unit, but focus that there is going to be infinity. This is the unit of one eternity, 400 years, over 400 years. I'd say 4.5 million years is the unit of one eternity. Time works in its units: seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, etc. There is a universal clock that works the same way, and we know what time it is when we get to what time it is. All summers are similar. All summers, all autumn, all winters, all falls are similar to the one before, and the next one will be similar because of their own laws and principles to abide by. We must make the adjustments to meet them when we know they are coming. Moreover, the units of time all conform in the universe. Whatever realm you are, all the units conform to each small particle, and we are like a genome, like a particle, a DNA particle in the universe. So therefore we have to subscribe to the principles or to the characteristic of the universe. So the units of time will have to conform, because the units of time are similar to those DNA particles. So that 60 seconds make a minute, 60 minutes an hour, and 24 hours a day. This is let's call it a legal. We use the word legal for very deep reasons. So let's call it a legal unit, because we are going back to laws. And these are laws whether we were the ones that conceived them. We did not even create the fact of them either, but we conceived them. They are laws. So too are we connected to the cosmic clock as we are connected to these. Our heart rate, blood pressure change with the time of day. In the morning, our blood pressure is different. And Saturdays, well, is it Saturday? On the 7th day of the week, our blood pressure in the morning is different from all the other days in the week. I don't know how that has to affect the cosmic, but that is one principle we know. But we know that generally our blood pressure is similar to the rate of that unit in the cosmic. So say one is 1,440, then the other might reflect as 144, but it's the same thing when you look at the bigger picture, because there is a micro and a macro scale. Our pulse rate, our heartbeat is linked in the same way to that of the cosmic. Like our pulse rate per minute equates the same number of years in a certain unit on the circuit of the cosmic, and this is consistently true across the board. So all comes to us from heaven, the celestial winds of the cosmic. Our mind is a replication of the cosmic. When we look outward, it's the entire replication, is the print. So just like the DNA source, which tells us that all that is outside of us is inside of us. So do you know that because of Akasha, you can if because of Akasha, we might say we don't have the faculty to travel to a certain planet, but we can view it in our own cosmics, and this cosmic is the heaven of our mind space, and the heavens of our mind space is never limited because it's the same connection to the cosmic. How then the child was brought from the sun? That energy, that soul, was sent from the sun to the male, and from the male to the uterus of the female, and then manifest as man upon the earth. And how did it come? It came through the black hole in space, from the sun to the black hole in space, and from the black hole in space to the landing on the oval earth, which is in the ovary. And that is the macro scale. And on the micro scale, it manifests as that mother who is giving birth in the maternity ward. So since we can visit that which came from the black hole in space in the hospital, then we can also visit that which is out there in the cosmic inside of our minds. I know this is a topic which we call deep, because we always refer to topics that goes beyond our conventional walls as deep. But it's just getting back to life. It's just back to basics topics. But the time will come when we realize. So we must stay in our cosmic mode, fully in calibration with the luminaries and their cycles. We, in order to remain celestial children, must stay connected to the celestial forces of heaven, and those that want to contain us will desperately view the cosmic winds and block out, even describe as a threat, all energies of our resurrection out of hell. Those energies that come in to call us back forward, they will tell you, oh, this is something that is coming from space and it's gonna be dangerous. We are gonna have to protect ourselves against it. And they will keep saying that. And those energies of the stars are extraterrestrials that are certain to arrive. Make no mistake. The only way to trap us is to connect us to an ulterior zone. And the only way is synthetic, like technology, for example. It will seem like we can be greater by synthetic applications, but will we know that what is coming to us is greater? We have free will. We will make our own choices, and we shall find out. We already know that even if the heavens and this earth be destroyed, eternal spirit beings will not die. By a word alone we be and become. So let the heavens and the earth pass away if they will. We are eternal, and we can embrace that eternal being or grapple with devils for scraps, like the option of immortality, which is not even a thing, except a limitation to the free will of God beings. When we are in water ages, we have strong emotions, but superstitions are great. They run wild. We define everything as magic or mystical. We use these energies to understand how to create, to build, manifest, and hold the order. The world paradigm must change to be compatible with the new nature of the masses. So we have to reset. But when the energies are changing to air, this is when people become more cerebral and spiritual intelligence will rise. Those that control the circumstances by way of hidden wisdom and tomfoolery will again have to initiate a new world order to manage this new natural flow of intelligence and control the masses as their sheep. Or they will lose the shepherd's advantage over these free-minded sheep becoming the goats. Then there is the age of fire, and the paradigm must change for that same reason. And again, in the age of the material earth, the same order maintains. Freedom of the masses is best escalated in the seasons of air. As now, we go into the age of Aquarius. The age of air is the age of spirit. Spirit is all transcendent. The need to know that you feel at this time is natural in you. You were born this way. Let no one steal your ego for truth. So, at every 2,000 years odd, the jailers of this hell plane will scuffle around in panic to create new norms that will stop the people from breaking cells. Since they will become different personalities in the different winds, you must treat them as such. We as earth dwellers are intrinsically linked to the cosmic, and they can only control us by cutting these cards. We can only be contained by giving them autonomy over us or outsourcing our soul visions to the ulterior motives. The age of Aquarius depicts a respite period of great inflowing of understanding to the masses. They will naturally know what medicines to take or not, unless you have their minds hooked to your set or reset. Being controlled in this way seems good in this life to many. Some have happily chosen so, for they see value in it. Maybe not in terms of the future for their children, whom they claim to lay up financial resources for, but in terms of today. They say that tomorrow will take care of tomorrow, or they think so, because they are afraid to do anything. The truth is this: some decisions you make today will have sorrowful bearings on tomorrow. You fight for this house as a legacy for your child. You fight with fire and gas, and you set it ablaze. Win the war and the legacy of a house, but tomorrow the child will still be homeless. I believe you understand this truth very well. Many are lazy and many afraid. You foolishly believe that these powers are greater than you. You foolishly believe they are. How can I explain why the lizard you fear is running away from you? But which one of you is greater? Open your eyes, you wonderful and mighty children of Akasha. You are larger than a dead carcass that you walk upon. You are greater than this life. You are eternal. You came here by deliberate design. So why now are you lost in your own twist? You alone can see all and know all. The hell rainers can't. They were cast down to this fiery pit for a reason. You are the ones that come and go at will. The high universes call for you, my gods and children of the Almighty. Come back home so we can worship you with love once more. I said that you are the child of the all. From everything about you, in every part of you, before you could be well fed, your full daily intake of energy, by standing in the sun. You could do that before. That was your way. You harvested energy by simply um, interworking with other energies. Now you only receive a limited addition, which might be by you having the vitamin D and other stuff by going out there. But why was it so? Because the blood of the Chitayuri demons now boiling you. Yes. You had a long period of berating you in this purgatory, and now out of hell you will be raised. For you were in this hell for eons, living on a dead carcass that is the earth. But they told you that hell was coming, and you never knew better. Being in forgetfulness, you are that heaven you seek. You are the heaven you seek. Come back home to you. Whenever you come home, wherever you go, it is back to you and back to us. When the first light was sparked in Genesis, that light was you. You were there and you were that light. No one, no God, no universal entity can take that from you. But paradoxically, you cannot take that from anyone else. You have problems trying to quantify how the one works and not being able to figure. You choose not to believe in what you are, but to take these ready done answers from the demons without realizing that the same maths you are looking for that will make it make sense is the same maths and the same science that proves that you are what we know and tell you that you are. I sometimes say to you, go and study quantum physics. Understand the way of a photon, the minutest spark from the sun. When we get near the truth, it seems like impossible magic and old science principles become redundant. Even your conventional scientists should now be at the level where they will tell you so. We cross over to that magic realm and will be there until we can explain the natural realities behind what seems impossible. It is magic until we can explain the natural realities behind what seems impossible, and then it becomes science to us. That is how the divine plane works. The earth is a carcass, and so are you. The earth is a carcass that houses us, and your body is a carcass housing the parasites. But you say you are alive. It is debatable. The carcass is not alive. It is a carcass. The being is alive. Wherever you go, you bring life, and still you fail to see your power. That photon, the full light of the entire sun, came to earth and into your father's lines, and from heaven it came through a black hole into your mother's uterus, condensed as mankind into the physical from spirit. It is all magic. The universe is magical. You must see the magic or you will not know. Every part of the earth you stand upon is blood and bones. The bacteria lives in a world of blood and bones, and so do you. You are called a sun, and if you want to know what a sun is, just look up at noon. It is above your head. I understand that this is above your head, but soon you will see if you see well. It is magic. I will tell you why it's magic. It is magic because mind and spirit is nothing but words. It is magic because reality is nothing but what we say. So, one little 14-year-old girl, or was she 13 at the time, wrote a lot of things about technology, a story that has to do with technology. And it was one of the most and that downtrodden humans, for she was a black kid. And that story manifested in something that you actually see with your eyes, and it manifested into a movie called The Matrix, that one little 13 or 14-year-old kid, black kid, wrote, in a world where they are the dispossessed one and a child matters so little. And her words manifested into something that everyone speaks about and learn from. It is magic. I'll tell you why it's magic. Again, it is magic because mind and spirit is nothing but words. Reality, reckoning, is nothing but words. Reality is the value of the reckoning. And you see, reality is just basically the word in its perpetual being, or its perpetuating being. And nothing can make sense that is not reason. So you try to make sense of reason. I see a man flying over Mount Everest, and we try to make sense of that. How can a man fly over Mount Everest? But how do we make sense of that reason? How do we make sense of that reckoning? By reasoning and reckoning. It only comes back to the same thing. The serpent that first spoke and taught the first thinker, taught father of Tutu, declared that reality is reason. It is thought and reckoning, nothing but a conjure. Imagination. We make it real when we authorize it. But did not the Africans, children of the doctrines of Nyankopan, Onyami, or their ancestors would say Amen Ra or Yahweh Adona, tell you that idea created the world? This is what they said. Idea created the world. I raise these topics to make upcoming ones compatible, about mindset cultivation and secrets of paradigm creation. If you can sit out a topic like this, then I have something wonderful to give you in coming videos. Now, when the earth paradigm was being created, the four winds were not earth, water, air, and fire. Why? For these are merely the intrinsic winds. You can't create it when it already is. The four conventional winds of earth had to do with the trapping spirit forces. It was to create the box of a cage, to order conventional reality and norm. Remember that these people came as the shepherds of men to build their soul edifices as cage to entrap the eternal beings. They are the souls trapped in the abyss, and they are making the cage to trap the bird from flying. The bird cage. Someone write the story about a bird cage and let us watch it on Netflix. To order conventional reality and norm. That is what they were building the box for. To create a limited vocabulary of reasoning within a certain square. To create a limited vocabulary of reasoning within a certain square. To create a mindset of thoughts that give the impression that one is free, but his mind is already trapped to fix orders, that the sheep masses be contained, that the gods control, compel, or prescribe his understanding and therefore his ideals, that the mold of reckoning is fixed for all the slaves, and the masters already know what his outcome will be. Therefore, his destiny is already compelled to a certain design. But he believes he is free, for he feels he can reason. Never did he count how few the words and trends of thoughts he was given are, and higher vocabulary words are either tainted, stigmatized, or not delivered to his vocabulary, not afforded in his paradigm. He believes that Elon Musk is a scientist, but a witch or a wizard is an evil person, which Elon Musk is not. He believes that Tesla goes to science, but a bush doctor who has the cure goes to the devil. He believes that hypnotism, sorcery, and the ABC alphabet, as taught to his children, are different things. And I will repeat that one. He believes that hypnotism, sorcery, and the ABC alphabet, as taught to his children, are different things. These are all arms of mind science by way of abracadabra, a magic science that the diviners of the past established. He believes that being Christian is different from being atheist. He believes that being Christian is different from being atheist when both came by the exact same conception. Both came by the exact same conception. I keep repeating this one, and the person who recognized the exact reason in it has come a far way, like so few of us, but the numbers will increase. So, by superstition, whereupon even God-spell religions were founded, and divine studies or science was twisted into esoteric, superstitious tools for control, like as to say, this is scientifically proven, so take this prescription, but yet it was the opposite that was proven. The people believe the person and disregard the facts. They disregard the science and accept the superstition. This is the essence of how superstition, especially as religion, works. He has access to your body, minds, and spirits in spite of yourselves. Superstition is one of four winds of the earth. The round earth has four corners. The world is a square. The Mason's square. By sociology, he gives the norms and the stereotypes to cultivate the mass mind into agreement. He establishes these biases in the way that dogs are given tricks. Do this and you will survive. Believe this and receive a pass. Sociology is one of the four winds of the earth. The round earth has four corners. The world is a square. The Mason's square. And then, by politics, he becomes the savior, creating problems in secret and solving them in public, that they all gather to see him more than they will care to see the Messiah. He casts a stone and hides his hand, and when he solves one thing, he makes there to be seven more to solve. He is their savior, and all power is entrusted in him. Bro God, politics is one of the corners of the earth. The round earth has four corners. The world is a square, the Mason square. And then he tells you that your intrinsic value is upon the piece of paper, and you believe. So by a trick of sorcery, the entire world is deceived by him, by way of the magic principles of economics and banking. But it is how he controls your energy. The human energy of the earth is moved around and possessed by banking and economics. Even if he does not know you, he stays 1,000 miles away and feeds off your energy. Banking and economics is one of the corners of the earth. The round earth has four corners. The world is square, the Mason square. It is the square of the Masons, for the architects that conceive these edifices, these soul edifices. That is what it is to them. And now that we enter into a new age, and now that many things will go plumb out of shape because of the new upcoming energies of Aquarius, off if measured by the T-square, not right by length or by breadth, not too plumb with the level. There has to be a recalibration of sorts. Watch out for a new world resetting of mindset, if you will have no say in how it was done. Peace out, my people.